interesting combinations out there in practice.
Yeah, yeah.
Just looking at all sorts of different mixes.
Yeah, I think that's a lot that they're doing too. You know, we put a couple teams together, we gave them some guidance, and we said sub how you want. So that's a little bit their own doing, and I think it's really healthy to either try different things or play a different role so that you kind of know what everybody's doing within the offense rather than just what you're doing.
I want to talk about, you talked about it a little bit after the game the other night, just kind of how you're going to kind of attack the point guard position this year. First, with Lindsay, what did she show you last year at the end that gave you the confidence that you can come into this season with her in that position?
I thought Lindsay was our best point guard in terms of what you think of in being able to calm a team, direct a team, put the ball in your hip, had some veteran. We counted on her in some close games that maybe there was a bit of chaos, and we were throwing the ball around. We didn't have direction. Lindsay would be the one that would calm us. I thought that she was pretty comfortable in her opportunities to score the ball. So those were the things. The way she finished, I thought was where we said, Fee likes playing with her. So obviously she didn't play with her a lot last year, but in past years, she was a player that Fee expressed confidence in. So I think LA shifting her mindset from, this is what we talked about, being in a reserve role, at the end of the roster, this is a different responsibility.
Yeah, she was talking about that. I mean, it's a great opportunity, but with that comes pressure.
That's exactly right. And I think that's something we just, she's got to keep working through. And,
right. Did she surprise you maybe a little bit last year at how
she
could be?
No, she didn't. No, that was what we. So Katie Smith worked with her in New York. Bill Lambier had her in Vegas. So we have some real familiarity with LA. So no, not surprising at all.
And then obviously you have Rachel as the backup there, and she's got flexibility to play both on and off the ball.
She does.
But you talked a little bit about Kelsey, and she did a lot of initiating the offense in Friday's game.
Tiffany?
Tiffany, I'm sorry, Tiffany.
Yep. She did, yeah. We got to a point where we had a group out there that we know that we wanted to look at that. We didn't tell her we were going to do that. I think it's always best to surprise them, and they just have to figure it out. I did talk to her before she got to camp that once she got a little more settled that we would add that to her responsibility. It's nice to have a third ball handler on a roster. And gives you options.
You were saying for the game that the key with her is decision making once she's been able to penetrate into a defense.
Yes, and I thought she showed evolution in just that game.
Right.
Where she obviously had a great will to get there. That's what she does, and then so that she can be more efficient, so our team can be more efficient. That we don't challenge and try to make hard shots. That we kick it out. And I thought she was doing that.
What was it like to have Kayla McBride for a training camp practice?
Yeah. I forget. I mean, you guys are heavy on reminding us of that. I really forget that she hasn't been.
No, never really.
Yeah. I'm sure she probably would have preferred to keep up that track record, not having to. She's a veteran. They don't like coming to camp. But no, I think. I mean, she just looks great when you come off of a season like that. I think in terms of what they were doing, her conditioning is really good, and she looks really confident.
Coach, sorry if somebody asked this question. No, I wasn't around. Rachel Banham, what have you seen from her from a leadership role this season?
I think Rachel's taken another step with that. I mean, I say Rachel has this really unique ability to connect with literally anyone. She can talk to anybody. She connects with them on a level. She provides the humor, as everybody knows. But I think what we wanted to add was, that's all fine and good, and that's actually easy. And you need that. You need that in your locker room. But then you also need that same person to be the one that can sort of crack the whip when it needs to happen, because they're going to listen to it. And so she's really embraced that, and it's her voice that we've heard quite a bit through the first however many days of camp.
Do you think that her job with the Minnesota Gophers helped her kind of understand from a coach's point of view, like, hey, this is what coach is trying to get across now?
I think there's no question. We messaged during the season when she was coaching, and there were some apologies. Now I understand what you wanted me to do. And that won't happen again. And now I get it. So yeah, I think it's tremendously valuable. You can anticipate maybe things in timeouts, or kind of going like, if I was Cheryl, I probably wouldn't be happy right now, or if I was Cheryl, I'd feel pretty good. So yeah, there's no question that was a valuable experience.
She was a big part of your comeback too.
Rachel was huge. Yeah, I mean, she bailed us out of a couple of poor possessions. My favorite was her, when I thought she should have flexed when she took it into the paint and shot over the top of Sinecki. I thought she should have turned around, or maybe too small, kind of come out of there with that would have been fun to see.
With the game that you guys have in Canada, what does this mean for the women's game and how it's going?
Yeah, it's really exciting to be a part of the first game in Canada, where we know, my gosh, the game sold out in, 20 minutes? So 22,000 people are going to be there, maybe the largest crowd ever. My understanding is they're trying to do standing room only, that sort of thing. So they're excited. So we get a chance to be a part of that. I think it's wonderful for the WNBA that they can see the possibilities with a franchise there. But yeah, I think it's natural because there's a lot of Canadian players playing college basketball, and we certainly have a fair amount in the WNBA.
How close is BC to being here?
She'll be here tonight.
Okay, so she's done.
Yeah, she's done.
When do you think she'll start practicing?
Don't know. We have to get her in, and because she had a little bit of a back issue, let Chuck get his eyes, and the medical team kind of get a feel for everything.
Well, you have to have your Ontarian.
She will be there.
Yeah.
She will absolutely be there. And I know if BC can at all, even if it's limited time, she'll play. So.
And I see that Jess got back to work today, too.
She did. Yeah, it was good to have her out there. Yep.
Coach, with training camps going around, you see a lot of big names getting cut, and it makes you think, like, should there be more WNBA teams? What are your thoughts on expansion and having more teams for women, like the ones who may not make it, for them to have a place to go?
Yeah, obviously it's a hot button topic. I think we've long felt like, we want more jobs, right, for players. I think our roster sizes could be improved. There was a day that we used to have an inactive list where we had a couple players. I thought that was really healthy for the league. And then obviously expansion. Expansion is probably more of a business decision. And so I think Commissioner Engelbert has been really intentional in the things that she's doing to set the league up for success when we do expand. And so we have to, I know we don't have a lot of patience for it, but we have to trust, from a business standpoint, the valuation of our franchise is really important to us. And so we have to make sure that we don't undersell. And so I think that. But I'd love to see, the roster sizes. I think it's healthy for everybody involved.
Well, especially now that the schedule is growing.
40 games.
I mean, it's not that different in terms of scheduling while you're playing than it is in the NBA in terms of how many games you're playing in a week, and they have 15-player rosters.
Yeah, and they got the two-way business.
If you could figure out a way to get 15 players on a roster, that'd be 50 new jobs.
Yeah, that would be helpful, and hopefully that's something that can be considered. And but for now, I just have to coach.
Coach, one of the first buckets in the game on Friday was a 3 from Dorka.
Yeah.
I know we have talked about the potential for her to add the long-range jumper to her game. What was it like to sort of see her take a few in-game threes, and how has her long-range shot been developing in Canada?
I think she must have heard me, say. So she said, "Take that, Cheryl." I got the 3 ball. I know she's been working. She's confident. Saw an opportunity. I think with Dorka. It's a lot like Dantas in terms of like being young players when they came here. Obviously, Didi's older now, but when she first got here, they're just so steady in what they do. There's not peaks and valleys in their game. It's just steady. Dorka knows where to be, so she has. I just think her European experience, obviously Ohio State, UConn. She just has a lot of experience in terms of understanding how to play, and that's given her some confidence. But yeah, the 3 ball. Certainly nice to add in your bigs.
For sure. And you said you're pleased with how much you got done in a 40-minute game on Friday night. Just, over the weekend, reviewing it again, did you see anything else that made you escalated that feeling a bit more?
Not so much that. I think what was illuminating for us is that the areas that we haven't worked on, we're not very good at. So that just reminds me that we need to work on some things. And so that was particularly on the defensive side. Certainly offensively, we're going to keep trying to gel, but defensively we were not a well-oiled machine. We were just playing with sheer will and hustling and competing, which is makes us happy. But we have a lot schematically to work through.
Awesome. All right, thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.